Hey, what is good, my good people? You know what time it is. Yes, it is that time. Once again, it is time for the I Am the Possible podcast experience, the place where we aspire to inspire the innovation of your identity. You know what it is. You know where you is. And yes, you know who I is. I am your host, Travell C. W. Lynch, Mr. What. And I am your self-worth specialist. Guys, welcome into, once again, the I Am the Possible universe, where you are always welcomed. You are always accepted. You are always loved. You are always forgiven. You are always good. Even as we say at my home church, this is a zero shame zone, a no shame zone. You are always significant, worthy, valued, loved, appreciated, honored, accepted here. All right. And I just want to thank you guys for showing up once again, taking this time to invest in yourself, taking this time to invest in the betterment of our society. For as you improve, you're improving those around you. As you get better, you're helping those around you to get better, because we all influence someone at some level. So just know that as you are growing, you are also helping someone else to grow. And that's a great thing. Guys, let's get into it. You know how we do round her. You know what we're doing. We got to get into the thought, the idea, the kickoff quote, the kickoff idea, the kickoff. Yeah, let me stop coming up with new names. It's an idea, and that's what it is. And it's the kickoff idea. So as always, guys, sometimes your mind just wants to do more than it needs to do. I ain't got to rename this. That's what it is. It's the kickoff idea. It's the idea that gets us going, man. And as always, I want to hear from you. What do you think? What is your opinion? I want to know, do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your thoughts on this one? If you are watching on the tube, and you should be on the tube, go ahead and drop your comment, your feedback. Let me know what you think. Drop it down below, right below this video. A seed is success waiting to happen. That's the idea. Now, if you are listening on a podcast platform and hey, you got a few minutes, go ahead and drop a comment, feedback, in the, don't know what it's called, but somewhere within the app, somewhere within the podcast app that you have, there should be a section for comments or for feedback, or to leave a review. So do me that favor. Let me know what you think. A seed is success waiting to happen. Guys, you know what we do around here. We are building, we are innovating our identity. And today I want to introduce to some, remind others that we are sowers. That's right. That's one of the things that you are. It's one of the things that you cannot help but to be. You can't get away from it. Okay. It is you by default. And I'm going to break some of that down, help you understand how maybe in the past you've been using it to work against yourself, and how going forward you can use it to improve your quality of life, and to improve, most importantly, your perception and perspective of yourself and how you view yourself. Got all my P's popping, so I'm trying to move this mic away from my mouth. So hopefully my P's ain't popping too hard, and they're blowing up your speakers wherever you might be listening, or your headphones, or your AirPods, however you might be listening. I don't know who wrote this one. I forgot. It was just in my notes as I was thinking through this episode. So I forgot who wrote this quote or who said it, where I got it from. So I just put unknown. But a seed is success waiting to happen. And the context that I want to offer today, right, in helping you to innovate your identity, is the fact that you are a sower. Now, before we get too far down that path, we got to do a few things. Number one, What is today's idea? What is today's topic? Your success is in your hands. Ah, yes. See how those two tie together now? Me coming with this idea in this context of you are a sower. That's right. Your success is in your hands. It could be your physical hands, or it could be your, you know, how would you say that? Your spiritual hands? But you get the point, right? I'm drawing an analogy, right? Basically, your success is in something that you already have. Okay, let's just keep it real simple, right? It's something that you already got, something that you already possess, and you can do a lot with it. And I'm going to be sharing on the ways that you can do that. But before we do, intro slides. What is the mission of this podcast? Here it is, guys. To share ideas, information, and individuals. Yes, I do bring people on from time to time. If they have something very, very important to say. Okay. But yes, I do bring people on as well. So ideas, information, and individuals that will, I promise you, they will inspire you to think of yourself in a way that makes the life you want possible. That's right. Because at the end of the day, man, this is about increasing the quality of your life, you living your dreams, you living the possibilities, guys. Right? God has created you, made you, and sent you into the world, right? To express many things, to experience many things, to embody many things. And I have learned that there is a direct connection between how we think of ourselves and how we think about ourselves, how we look at ourselves, and the probability of those possibilities coming to pass. All right, cool. We got a confession, guys. The tongue, mine, yours, anyone who has one, there is life and death in it. Proverbs 18, right? So we believe around here in the iAMthepossible universe that we can speak things into existence. How so? Our words create our world, our worldview, perception, perspective, our framework, belief systems, right? Inside, right? In our world. And that's really the only word that matters, because that's the lenses in which we view our lives, right? How we see it. That's what's going to be the determining factor of whether or not you move forward or not, right? In large part. There are no absolutes. So in large part, okay? But yeah, man, we believe in confessions, and I believe in this thing called confessing what we want to create. It's not a magic pill, right? We don't believe in magic pills around here, right? Red pill, blue pill. This ain't the Matrix. But what it is that it's going to make your possibilities more probable, more likely to happen if you engage all of the many tools that God's given you. And one of the tools that God has given you is the power of your tongue, the ability for you to speak things, right? So repeat after me, if you will. I'm about to learn something that will transform the way I think about myself and help make the life I want possible. That's our confession. All right. Sound good? Sounds good to me. I love to confess it because I love to learn, and I love to learn things that are going to help me to move forward. Hope you do too. All right, guys. Lastly, always start off with a disclaimer. Disclaimer alert. That's right. We have a disclaimer around here because of my profound respect for the mental health community, the mental health, workers, those who come alongside and really do the nitty gritty work of helping people that are traumatized by life's events and misfortunes. And so I always give a disclaimer to say this is a piece of the puzzle, guys. So even as it says on the screen, the ideas expressed on this podcast serve only as a component of a complex puzzle called human behavior. This rabbit hole goes deep. And, in the next 20 or 30 minutes or so that I'll be with you, you can't solve it all. You can only offer some good information that will help in some way, somehow, right? So I always want to give that disclaimer. So you may be at a place in your life where you require professional help, and I want you to get it. Okay, so I want you to seek out that professional help if you're at that place where you don't need just inspiration and motivation. You need that side by side, going in, going deep, doing that inner work to make sure that you really, really lay a foundation for your mental health overall. And you should not feel ashamed about that. Hey man, life happens. Okay, so get the help that you need if you're in that position. All right, cool. Let's do it. Today's idea: your success is in your hands. That's right, guys. A lot of this has to do with, sometimes we have that victim mentality where, oh, I grew up on this side of town, so I can't be successful. Oh, I didn't grow up with a mom and dad, so I can't be successful. Oh, they did me wrong back in the 3rd grade, so I can't be successful. Oh, I was in that accident or had that issue and that thing happened, or they said that, or they, people blocking, people hating, right? So I can't be successful. Sometimes we play the victim, right? And I'm not saying that life ain't hard. I'm not saying that they didn't do what they did. I'm not saying that they didn't say what they said. I'm not saying that you ain't had a rough road, man. I'm not saying, I mean, I've had a rough road, right? So I get it. I'm not in any way saying or trying to downplay or trying to excuse the suffering that you've gone through or are going through. Yet I am here to be an inspiration. I am here to say, in the midst of that pain and struggle, there is some information that can help you to move forward. I do believe that because I've lived that. I do believe that though it is dark and gloomy right now, with the proper ideas and the proper actions, that things can get better. Absolutely. And I want to share a story with you. And that was kind of a moment for me right then. The more of these I record, the more weight I feel. Not a bad thing, but I really respect people's struggle. I don't know if I shared with you guys. Well, let me stop. I have shared. What I don't know is if you've listened to an episode where I shared. But I'm in the midst of a year-long coaching certification, looking to really increase my capacity to serve and to just be mindful and be aware, right, of how things work, right, as it relates to the human behavior, right, as it relates to humans. And the more you are aware of how deep this thing goes, the more compassion you have and the more empathy you have, and you don't take people's suffering lightly, right? And that's from the outside looking in. So I can only imagine what someone's dealing with on the inside. So please, please, please don't hear that, oh, Trevel's just skipping over my issues. He don't understand me. He don't know. Well, go back and listen to some of my earlier episodes and you'll know that I know, right? I'm not going to trace my whole my whole backstory again in this episode, but trust me, I know pain, I know suffering, I know heartbreak and heartache. So yeah, I don't know, just wanted to flow with that. Again, the purpose of this season is to really have conversations, because that's how my life changed, through one-on-one conversations, through people just pulling me to the side or taking me under their wing for a season and, just talking to me, man. And some great things came out of those conversations. So I really hope and I really pray to coach you up through these conversations. Okay. So let me share this story with you. I want to say it was around 2005, 2006, sort of in that area. Okay. The year and the dates really don't make all that big of a difference, but early on in our Christian walk, after relocating from Toledo, if those of you who are unaware, my wife and I, we grew up in the Midwest. I'm originally from Chicago. My wife is from Ohio. Her family is from Canton, Ohio. But we both moved and we both lived in Toledo, Ohio for many years. And we got the call to ministry. Shout out to Pastor Kerwin L. Manning, Madeline Denise Manning. Shout out to my spiritual parents. Shout out to Pasadena Church, the church with no limits. So blessed to be a part of this this group of believers. Just what an amazing church. What a loving, caring, passionate church. What a patient church I'm a part of and blessed to be a part of. And so around 2000, we had the opportunity to fast and to pray and to think about coming out here to Southern California because our youth pastor at that time, Pastor Kerwin, was offered and accepted a senior pastor role here at Pasadena Church. And so we fasted, we prayed, and we believed that God told us to move. So we got out here. And within 2 months, guys, we were not only broke. I mean, because I think we moved here with like 5,000, something like 5,000. And, you know, for all of you California natives, you knew we was crazy. We was just walking by faith, right? 2,000 miles away, coming out here with $5,000 and a child, by the way, right? First of our three sons, first of our 4 children. So we move out here, and, you know, within a couple of months, we are flat broke and we are evicted, right? We are kicked out of our current situation. And we moved in with 2 friends of ours from the church. Shout out to the Lees. You know, they let us in, man. You know, we had to sleep on a mattress for a couple of months, and they let us in and let us hang out. So our introduction to California was not not so pleasant, not so hopeful, but things got better. Oh my God, things got better. Thank and praise God. So a little bit after that time, we quickly found ourselves just in financial struggles, right? And all of this is going to tie back into, and it's going to lay the foundation for what I want to share concerning the idea that you are a sower and that your success is in your hands, and that a seed is success waiting to happen. Okay. So all of this is going to tie in. Trust me, stick with me. And so anyway, we were dealing with financial problems, right? And so I'm just thinking of some of the financial issues that we had. I know at one point we were evicted. Well, not for some point. So number one, we were evicted. At some point we had our car repossessed, right? Got the new, I think it was a Ford Focus. I love that car too, man. Ford Focus had the beats, man. I'm talking about that sound system. I didn't have to buy no additional nothing, right? The sound system was amazing in that Ford Focus. Shout out to the Ford Focus family. You guys make an amazing car, but you came back and took ours away. I came back and got our car. We couldn't afford it, man. We were on welfare, EBT cards, and so we financially struggling, man. We out here, but we financially struggling. Pastor Kerwin told us too. It was like, yo, if you move out here, just understand we can't take care of y'all. Although they did take us in for a little bit of time. After staying a month or so with the Lees, we actually did move in with the Mannings until we were able to get some stable jobs, and it wasn't long. And so but they told us like, yo, man, you move out here, you better have heard from God, because moving to Cali ain't no joke. This ain't the Midwest where rent is $350 a month. Rent out here is like $3,000 a month. Okay. So anyway, financial struggle after struggle after struggle. So we found ourselves in debt. I mean, we doing the old school payday loans and EBT cards and food stamps and what they say, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and check to check, and we struggling, y'all. And at one point we got over $50,000 of worth of debt. Now I don't remember the exact number, but I know it was over $50,000 worth of debt. And so I remember that year fasting and praying, because our church family, we do a 21-day consecration where we fast and we pray at the beginning of the year. And this particular year is around 2005, 2006 or so. I remember God saying to us, sow $100 a month. Because we had an income, right? We was pinching pennies, but we had an income. So $100 a month for a year. And I remember in that same year feeling as if God was saying to give our tax return away. Now, we young, we in our 20s, we are already struggling. We out here hurting, man, right? You feel me? We out here hurting. And here go God talking about give up your whole tax return. Give up $100 a month. And so, we was like, so who, where, how? It's just give it to somebody as you feel led. Just, whether you're going to church, you're in the supermarket, friends, family, whatever. So long story short, man, we believed God. Now, I'm not suggesting this verbatim. I'm not telling you to go out and sow $100 a month and everything's going to turn around for you. You got to hear that from God, right? This is the faith thing. But the principle is applicable. And here's why. So we sold $100 a month. We gave away our full tax return to one family that we felt we should give it to. And we were believing that God would get us out of debt. We were starting to read books about debt. We were starting to watch a certain pastor that really focused on debt release and debt cancellation. And we got it in our heads, man, that the children of God should not be in financial debt. So we began to sow these seeds. We began to give away our tax return in faith. And we began to pray. We took every scripture that we could find that was related to finances, related to being out of debt. And we taped up scriptures all over the wall. People would come over for our cell groups and they would look at the wall and say, man, what's going on? And we would tell them our story. Or other people would come over just because, and we had no shame about it. We were sold out for this thing. We started believing we were not supposed to be in debt. And so we sold with faith, man. And don't you know, within the next 2 years, after sowing, money began to flow into our home. People would walk up and give us $1,000 at a time. God told me to give this to you. Boom. $1,000 in cash. Money would start coming from different places. People would give what they say back in the church, a holy handshake. They come up, hug you, go to touch your hand, right? Back, pre-COVID, right? When we could touch each other and praise God, right? So we would, give a handshake and they would slip a $100 bill in your hand, $200 in your hand. Checks would come in the mail from, settlements that we didn't even know that we were a part of. People, from old jobs forgot to pay us and they would, retro pay and, here's the lump sum from when we didn't pay you back in the day. Some of the debt we would call about because we got a hold of some information about just calling and literally asking, would you cancel this debt? It's been over 7 years, 8 years since we paid this debt, or since we've owed this debt. Would you just cancel it? Guys, many of them said, yes, we'll just eliminate it. We'll just take it off your credit report. The list goes on and on and on. And it just started happening and happening and happening. And don't you know it, within 2 years of sowing those seeds, we were 100% debt free. Debt free. For some people, that is still something that is just not, you can't register it. What do you mean debt free? We were 100% debt free. And from that point, we began to build our credit, our credit scores improved. We were able to, have a budget. We were able to save. We started investing. We were able to give more organically, right? We were able to give more to the church, more to friends and family. We were able to meet needs when they came up. Our whole financial picture turned around. Shout out to Rusty Proctor, our financial advisor as well, over with the good company Primerica. Shout out to the Primerica family. They taught us a gang of information about finances, right? Shout out to Robert Kiyosaki, right? Cash flow quadrant. You feel me? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? Shout out to Creflo Dollar, right? No More Debt was the book that we were reading at that time. I mean, shout out to all these people who helped us get up out of that debt, man. And so we were sowing financial seeds, but these books that we were reading and these people that we were connected to and all of that was seeds, guys. Because in my story, the success was becoming debt free. How did we become debt free? By using what we already had. Our success is in our hands. And so I want to offer you in the next couple of minutes some proof, guys. Your success is in your hands. If it could be done for us, guess what? It can be done for you as well. No more excuses. You're better than that. If you're not in a position where you know God's happy with your condition, right? Because listen, how do I want to put this? Because you may be saying, well, how does this relate to how I see myself? If you know that you are a sower, that empowers you. You don't have to stay where you are. You don't have to stay stuck. You have seed within you. Your words are seeds. When you say something and other people hear you say it, there is a response. You ever ask someone you ever ask somebody a question? What did they do? They gave you an answer. You ever take action towards something? What happened? There was an outcome. You ever think real hard about something? What happened? You did or didn't do something. Our words are seeds. Our thoughts are seeds. Our actions are seeds. Your success is in your hands. In other words, hands just represents you already have it. It's with you. It's with you. Now take it to a material, practical level. You got money, that's a seed. You got some time that you can go and help out somebody. Your time is a seed. You can allocate that towards something. You got 2 hands, 2 feet. You can go somewhere and help somebody out. And your deed is an action. If you really sat down and really thought about it, you loaded. You are loaded. Because what happens in this world, the way God set it up, is that when you sow, you grow. I know it sounds cliche, but it's real talk. If you want to grow it, sow it. You get what you give. If you want to receive, release. Oh yeah, that's the preacher in me, but it's still real talk. It's still real talk. I'll say it one more time. If you want to get it, give it. If you want to receive it, release it. If you want to grow it, sow it. That's right. It's in your hands. You already got it. So when you think of yourself as a sower and you get that bing, that aha, then you also see how in the negative you've been sowing some seeds and you've been reaping some bad harvests, right? You know what I'm trying to say, right? So you've been sowing bad seed. You've been either saying bad things, right? You've been thinking bad thoughts. You've been doing bad things, right? Bad in your context. I'm not here to blame you, but you get what I'm saying, right? So you've been doing some things that maybe have been triggering and bringing back to you a return on your investment that ain't the type of return that you want. Well, here's the empowerment. Here's the innovation of your identity, right? I'm a sower. That means I can take conscious residence. I can take conscious regulation. That was what I was looking for. Regulation. I can regulate my sowing. I can regulate my giving. I can regulate my releasing. I can regulate my harvest. I can determine my harvest by my seed. That's where the empowerment comes. That's where the feeling better about yourself comes. That's where the empowerment of saying, wait a minute, I've been doing this. Now I just need to do it on purpose for the right reasons so that I can get the right harvest. Because you've been doing it. It's by default. Like I said in the beginning, you can't even get away from it. It's just what you are. It's built in, right? So check this out, guys. Check this out. Success is in your hands. Look at this. This is Bible. Come on now. This is Bible for all my believers out there, helping believers to believe in themselves. Right? I told y'all this is one of my missions, man, to help believers believe in themselves. We got a whole lot of people that believe in God, but they don't really believe in themselves. Well, God says unto us, as long as the earth endures, seed time, which is sowing, releasing, giving, as long as the earth is around, this law, it is a law. It is a spiritual, fundamental law that cannot and will not be broken. It continues to work. Whether you're conscious to it or not, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you like it or not. And now you can use it to your advantage and feel better about yourself, because now you can do things on purpose to create and produce the life that you desire. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night, it will never cease. Excuse me. It'll never cease, guys. It's there to work. It's there to use. And you got it. It's in your hands. You can do this. It's all yours. Right? Do with that law what you will, man. That's right. Now, here's my thought. This is me. This is me just thinking out loud. The success you're hoping for is in the seed you're holding right now, right? Maybe I need to start sowing some seeds for a spell check, for a grammar control. Where's my grammar police, right? Sometimes I'm typing so fast, right? But you get my point. The success you're holding or hoping for is in the seed you're holding right now. You have it. What you hope for, you're holding in your hands right now. But it cannot grow. It cannot return to you anything. It cannot get you back or give you back anything if you continue to hold it. That's the key about a seed. It's got to hit the soil. It's got to be planted. It got to go in the dirt. It got to get out of your hands into another place so that it can grow. Yeah. There's another little rhyme right there. For it to grow, it got to go. Oh, I'm preaching. For it to grow, it got to go. So get it out your hands. Do something with your resources. Money, time, thought, words, actions. Use this stuff. And there's a multitude more. I'm just giving you somewhere to start, right? People that got a closet full of old clothes, you ain't using them, give them away. You got an extra car, give it away. You got extra stuff that just sit around your house and you ain't used it in years. It's collecting dust. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Do a garage sale. And every time someone walks up and says, how much is this? You say free. I'm just saying. All right, guys, time to wrap it up. I hope you are convinced by this time. We're going to get into the support in just a moment, but right? Do you get it? I hope you get it. You're a sower. So sow on purpose and produce the possibilities that you've been created for. It's that simple? Yeah, it's that simple. Yeah. So here's your CTA. Here's your call to action. Here's your homework, guys. Simply think about the life you want. Think about the things that you want to create. Think about the quality of life that you want to experience. Think about the person that you want to be. Think about the home you want to live in. Think about the area that you want to live in. Think about the things that you want to be able to provide for your family or provide for other people, or the things that you want to do for God. Think about your wants and then simply say, Lord, show me what I already got that I can begin to give, so that I can use this law and this principle to my advantage, so that I can become an abundant giver. Now, I'm not telling you what motives you should have. Hopefully, they're the right motives. I'll sow so I can grow, so I can give some more, right? Today is my rhyming day, right? MC, MC what, right? Hopefully, you're looking to sow, to grow, to be able to give some more, but it's going to work for you regardless. It's going to work for you regardless, right? That's just how it is. Got rich folks all over the world that don't know God, and they're using this principle. So it's going to work regardless. My hope for you is that you are grateful to God for establishing such a principle that allows you to never be stuck where you are, to never be at the mercy of life and the mercy of others. You can sow your way and grow your way up out of any situation or into any situation. You can do that. And I hope and pray that as you're praying and believing God and beginning to sow your seeds, that He cultivates within you, if you don't already carry one, right, a heart of gratitude and a heart of generosity, right? So that you can just be a philanthropist, man, so that you can just be someone who gives back to the community, or gives back to your family, or makes a way for others to improve in their lives and to improve their family lineages and legacies. That's my hope, right? So hope this has blessed you. Hope this has opened up your eyes and helped you to innovate your identity. You can now confess, I am a sower. I can sow to grow, to have some more, and to give some more, right? Whenever I say so. All right, let me stop. All right, guys, that's it. Time to wrap it up. We'll love your support, guys. Number one, please go out and tell somebody, share. You guys having a conversation. You at work, coffee, what is it called? Coffee pot conversations. Bring up this podcast, man. You see somebody down in the mud, bring up this podcast, man. You see somebody in need of some pick me up, bring up this podcast. Let somebody know that this information is available. Leave me a comment. Number two, here on the tube, drop comments right there below. If you're not already watching me on the tube, please go over to YouTube and subscribe. I would love for you to get not only every episode of the iAM the Possible podcast experience, but all of the organic content that I am uploading each and every week to help you to stay on fire for your future. That's right. Hit that little bell down in the lower right-hand corner, I believe, and become a part of the notification nation so that you don't miss out. All right. I just talked about it right there, YouTube, but that was my that was my whole spiel for the YouTube one. But my second one was to leave the comment. So leave comments there on YouTube. Also, if you have any questions, suggestions, feedback, good, bad, or indifferent, you can also hit me up at info@iamthepossible.com. info@iamthepossible.com. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What do you think about these things? How does it hit you? Is it working for you? Is it not? All right. And then lastly, Apple Podcasts or any podcast platform that you are listening, I would love your subscription and I would love your review and I would love your feedback on each and every one of these episodes, because I value your feedback. What you have to say helps me to know if I'm on the right track, if I need to take a detour, if I need to improve in a certain area. Just let me know. All right. I value your opinion. All right, guys, that is it. Once again, another one in the books. Thank you so much for rocking with me this week. Hope and pray that you have a phenomenal week. If it's not good, I pray that it gets good. And if it is good, then I hope that it's getting gooder, as I like to say. All right. Love you guys. Praying for you guys. Believing in you guys. Until next time. Remember, go out today in some way and be why it's possible. Peace.